Hello everyone and welcome again. My name is Amir Ahmed. I'm an architect, Egyptian architect, computational designer and the co-founder of Exact Architecture Studio. In today's live session, we are going to start a new series of tutorials, live tutorials. This is the complex tower that we are going to start modeling today, and I hope I will minimize the duration of the video to 1 hour or maybe less. These are some shots from the design itself. We designed it in Exact Architecture Studio. This is just a fun animation I was working on during the test. Also, I would like to say thank you, special thanks to the first 2 supporters to our channels on Patreon. Unfortunately, I don't know how to pronounce their names, but really thank you for your support. And if you are interested to support me on Patreon, the link is already in the description. Now let's jump to Rhino. I created this rectangle already because I wanted to save some times. Let's go to the top, and just to know the dimensions, DIMA, dimension aligned. This one is 30, this one is 50, so it's basically 30 by 50 with a core with 10 by 20. So this, maybe I can change the color in here or go to the shaded and hide the grid. This is basically the curves that we will start modeling from. And now I will start to go to the subd and create a box from the subd. Let's go to the perspective and simply create from here to here, and simply type for height I will type 250. So this is the basic box that we will modify or work on. After that, I created from here, from create subd box. After that, I want to make a sharp creases. I will go to here. First, I will select selection filter edges and select those 4 edges and select this one, which basically loops, and I will select those and those. Of course, this layer is locked, so I don't mess with it. And go to subd and make a crease. So this is the main box. I create, let me show you again. I created the count 1 by 1 by 5. So it will be the minimum divisions that I need to create this design. Again, I will go select the edges. I want to select these, and simply move them. MO. If you type MO and it didn't give you move directly, you need to type it multiple times and select the command mo. Sometimes when you type MO, it gives you model base point. You don't need this, and you don't want to type move the 4 letters every time you select move, because it will be annoying. Just MO and select move multiple times, and automatically Rhino will understand that every time you will type move, you will type MO, he will pick move already. And I will move this to I'll move this from here to here, and I will select this one. I will move them from here to here. I'll move this one to here. Really sorry, I will need to do all of this again because I didn't share my screen. I'm really sorry for that. Okay, let me start again. Basically, I had these curves I already created before. It's not that much big of a deal. It's just as you can see, let me go to wireframe and DIMA, dimension aligned, and from here to here it's basically a 30 by 80 by 50, sorry, by 50 30 by 50 rectangle, and in here it's 10 by 20. If we show the grid, I'm following the grid, so if I show you the grid, it's kind of an easy way to start modeling. Just respect your grid. Okay, and I locked this layer because I don't want to mess with it. I want to keep it as it is. And now let's start modeling. Let me create a sub-D box from here to here, and with the height I will type 250, and I will get this one. I will select, I want these curves, these 4 curves, and simply I will select the edge loops, and after that I hit shift and pick those with those, the top and the bottom ones, and I will go to add crease so it will look like box. After that I will select those curves. I will move them from here to here. I will select those curves. I move them from here to here, and simply I select this one, move to here, and this one move from here to here. So this is basically what we've got so far. If I hit tab, I will go to the flatted from the smooth to flat mode. This is the sub D that we've got. It's basically simple. Okay, now I will click in here. This is basically I don't select any filter of the sub D, and pick the object and simply mirror it, MIR, and hit function 8, and the grid, so it will be easy to mirror. Also make sure that you are copying. After that I will pick those two, and I will go to reflect sub D object. In this case you will mirror, but you will copy whatever you're doing in the left, in the right object will be mirrored in the left object as you are modeling. So we will select one and simply reflect, and select the axis from this point to any point in front, and simply you will pick the side you want to keep. Of course I want to keep the right side of the axis, and enter. You will see that this one is a little bit dark and this one is lighter, because you will edit this one. Of course he is seeing them as one part, but you will edit this one and automatically this one will be edited. We will do exactly the same thing in here. You will select this reflect subd object and pick this one and make sure that you are on the axis and back and enter. So this is basically the main model that we will work on, the four towers that we will connect to make the merged complex idea. Again, let's now have some fun with the subd faces. Let's select those two and simply bridge them. When you are bridging them, the more segments you add, the more definition you will get in here, but in this case I want them to be simple like this. And if you add creases, it will create a crease like creases like this. It will create a simple bridge, simple box bridge like between them, but in this case I don't need that, so I will keep it like this and simply okay. I will do the same in here and bridge, okay, and I will go to these two in the middle and again let's bridge them. So this is basically the four towers are bridged from the base. Now let's say that we want to create the fancy effect that we created in here. As you can see, this part, these wings that we will create, and we will go to the vertex or the vertices mode, and if I selected one of them and just drag it, you can see that because of the reflect subd object is working, you don't need to grab both of them. Okay, now let's say I want to drag this maybe -50. No, I need it to be more, maybe more 50. Yes, and maybe in here 25, so it will be like this. Maybe a little 50 more. Yes, I want it to be a little bit away like this. Okay, I will create the same in here, but in this case in here let's say not minus 25, and let's say 50, maybe a little 50 more. Actually, let's move it a little bit back. Let's say -10. Yes, that's perfect. Let's go from the top. They are looking good. Go to the shaded mode. Yes, perfect for now. Now let's add more detailing. I want to create an entrances. I want to create bridges between those complex towers, and actually I want to create this effect in here. Sorry, I want to create this slope at the top. Yes, this little bit of slope. So basically I will select the edges, this edge and this edge, and move it a little bit down. Let's say 50. 50 is way too much. Sorry, 25, -25. Yes, and this is basically perfect. Let's select now those curves and basically I want to create there's something in here called insert subd edge loop, and as you can see it creates an edge, but of course I don't want the offset the absolute mode. I want to be proportional mode because I want it to be either it's kind of an evaluation. I want it from 0 to 1 to respect all the curves and to evaluate them from 0 to 1. And if I set for instance, let's say 0.1, he will create at 0.1 from the curve like this, and also it will create the same one in here. If I did the same thing in here but I did it in the dark side, just I will do it to show you. Sorry. When you are selecting multiple curves, you need to hit the shift, and I will create it. Let's say I want the same thing, insert, and I said let's say 0.9. He will not create it because I'm working on the mirror object. In this case he will not see it. You need to work on this side. And again let's say yes, add this one and say 0.9. sorry, let's say 0.1. subd insert and 0.1, and here you go. Now you have these creases, these curves. Let's add them. Let's add a crease to them because I want them to be sharp, and also I want to create the bridge right now. So all I need to do right now is selecting these and simply bridge. Okay. And let's see them. This is the bridge that we are looking for. This part is a little weird, so all you need to do now is just select this curve or this edge and simply drag it a little bit to the inside, and it looks a little bit better. And simply you will do the same thing in here. Just select the curves and simply create this one. Let's say 0.1 again. Why I don't use of course you can imagine why you don't use this one in here, but why I can't use this one, because if I selected this one he will pick all of unnecessary curves, but since they are not so much, you can pick them one by one, just like this. And let's go in here and simply add them. Let's say 0.1, and again select those, and let's add insert another 0.1. so you will have it like this, and simply you can pick a curve and double click on a curve. He will select the loop, and shift and double click on the other curve and he will select the other loop. You can select the loops easily like this, and basically add crease, and again you can simply pick those two faces, and after picking them hit bridge. So this is basically the 4 bridges that we are needed to do this. Okay, now I need to create an interesting entrance in here, just like this one. I want to create this interesting entrance, but before I do that I need to slide this point, this vertex. I want to slide it a little bit in here because it's so much inside, and I want to create a little bit of an interesting entrance. Let's say slide, and see, sometimes slide doesn't work. And if you want to create if you want to slide something a long curve and slide doesn't work, all you need to do is just select it, and there's something called Gumball relocate, and select the point or the curve that you want to move it, and select the other point that you want to move along it. And after that he will ask you to pick the Z direction. In this case I don't care about it, just hit enter and move it just like that a little bit. This command is temporary. It means that after you finish what you are doing with this command, it will go back to normal, and everything is perfect. You don't need to worry about it. Again, maybe these ones, yes, maybe we'll move this one a little bit to here, and maybe this one need to be a little bit like this. If I want to move this in the XY plane, and I want to move it a little bit freely, I don't want to be constrained with the grid or anything, but I want to make sure that I'm moving within the XY plane. You can see these little grids. This one, the red green one, is the XY plane. So if you moved it like this, and of course I don't want the grid for now, and you move it like this, you are moving in the XY plane. You are not moving in a weird in other weird planes. Okay, now let's say that I want to create an entrance in here, and the main thing that I want to do right now is creating a subdivision in here. So basically I will select the curves, and I will select the edges, and I will select the edge that I want to create the ring of it. So simply, why you can select, yes, here you are. And after you picking the ring that you want to work on it, you simply click enter. If you didn't click enter and you try to do anything like this, for instance, let's say that I want to create something, he will ignore what you already did. If you want to use the face loop, the edge ring, the edge loop, you need to, after you select your curve, you need to click enter. Maybe you will select multiple curves, and after that you will lose them because you simply didn't hit enter, which I face all the time. And here we are. Simply we will add a curve like this. When you are working in the smooth mode, it's not easy to work with, so simply hit the tab, so it will be easy to see where is the middle part is. And here you are. We need to slide this. We need to slide this one. So of course Sometimes a slide works, sometimes it doesn't work, but in this case all you need to do is moving, just hit Gumball, relocate, and of course pick this point and pick this point and click enter, and simply you can drag this one like this. Maybe you can do the same thing in here. Gumball, relocate to here and simply drag this one a little bit like this. We need to move this a little bit like this. We need to move this a little bit like this, and it's kind of a perfect. Again, we need to select the curve and move it a little bit backwards, so when you hit the tab it will be a little bit perfect like this. Maybe this vertex is a little bit inside, you need to move it a little bit like that. You know, you will edit your model as the way as you seem prettier or more elegant. Maybe this point a little bit inside. Yes, let's keep it for now like this. Simply what we want to create right now is let's say that we will remove this crease, select the curves and select, double click on the crease, and we will remove it for now. So we will have this shape, and simply select this curve, this curve, this curve, this curve, and this curve. And now I will make them add a crease to them, so it will give me this effect. So that's basically the start where we are going to start to make the entrance. And simply if we double click on it, on the crease, it will select it all, and let's bevel it a little bit. But of course when you are working on the smooth mode, it's harder to deal with it. So again, hit the tab mode, and the more you zoom, the more control you will get. And in this case it's proportional. I want it to be proportional because I don't want to, I want the end to collapse together. No, I don't want that. And so simply I select this edge and drag it a little bit like this. So if I hit this, it will look exactly like this. Sorry, I will keep this in here. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hayyak Allah. Now we will move on to the entrance. Okay, now let's create more details. Let's select this curve. Again, double click on it and you will select the full crease, and again bevel it a little bit. Again, just in here, and yes, bevel it a little bit like this. You can simply move this a little bit up, so it will create this effect. Okay, and now simply we will select this face. Actually I don't want these for now, so simply I will delete them, and I will select this face and extrude it a little bit inside and remove this face. So this basically the entrance, but we need to make it more interesting. Now let's go to the front. I will select these curves with this curve, and I will make them add crease, so they will look like this. Actually, let's work on it a little bit in here. I will select this and move it. Let's move it a little bit like this, just for fun for now, and we will modify it again. Let's scale this a little bit, and also this face is not, let's select this face. This face is not vertical, so if I want to make it vertical, simply I will select this green axis, and I will drag it to the 0, so it will be vertical like this. Again, let's go from the top. I don't want to make it way much out there. Just, you know, I want an interesting entrance, but I don't want it to be so much messy. And because of this, I will select these vertices, and again, if I selected one of them, because I'm working on the reflection, the sub-D reflection, I can simply drag them both, maybe open them a little bit like this. And now let's go to the front. This is way much huge entrance, because every block of this is just 1 by 1 meter, so I don't need all of this. I just simply maybe a little bit like 5 or 6 meters high. It's a huge entrance for such a huge tower, but I don't want it to be so much huge. And again, let's pick this one and only this one, and, you know, simply just move it a little bit like this. Of course, in this case, the entrance is looking weird, so I need to lower this part a little bit. So I need to go to the front and simply select those, and I will go to the top, making sure that I didn't select all of the other things that I don't need, like this, and simply click Control and remove this, remove these. Maybe I don't need those two. Yes, I don't. Actually, yes, I need them. And simply drag them down there. So the entrance will look like this. Maybe if I need to move it a little bit up in this area, so it looks more interesting. Yes, like this. So this is kind of an interesting entrance for a huge tower. Let me know what you think about it. In here I will create a different kind of an entrance because I want to create a various options. So again, I will remove this crease for now. Let's remove it, and I will have this part, but in this case it's not a reflection, it's not mirrored. The right side will not be like the left side, so all I need to do right now is simply select sub-D objects. In this case it's one object, so it's fine, or I can select none and select this one, sorry, and go back in here and right click on the reflect sub-D object. In this case he will remove the reflection, and now I can work on it. Again, I will select this curve right here. Let's say this one, this one, this one, and this one. So if I said let's add crease to them, it will create this effect, and it's kind of nice once you work on it more. Now let's add bevel. When you zoom, yeah, you get more control of the bevel you need, because if you are working from distance, it's not accurate. So that's basically it. And again, I will select this curve and move it a little bit in here, and I will select this face and simply drag it inside, and select this face, I don't need it, and select this face again. I will make it 0, and let's select this edge. Actually, let's go to the front again. Yes, because I want it to be maybe a little bit like the old one, like this. And maybe this edge will be a little bit inside like this. Actually, this curve needs to be a little bit inside like this, and this curve needs to be inside like this a little bit, maybe. So that's an interesting approach, hopefully. Let's now add crease in here, so it will look like this. Of course, I don't want these ones to be so high, so basically I will select, maybe in this case I don't want to select the the vertices. I will select these ones like this and drag them down a little bit, and select this crease and simply bevel it a little bit. And the more you zoom, the more you get accuracy, so it will looks like this. Maybe we can select this edge and drag it a little bit out here, and maybe we select this edge or this edge and drag it a little bit out here, so it will be look a little bit thicker. And maybe this one just a little bit. Yes, so this is the second approach. Maybe we will select this edge and drag it a little bit in here, so it will look a little bit like this. This one with this one, move them down so it will look much smoother. Let's make this a little bit wider. So let's go to the top. Yes, make sure that these ones maybe like this. Let's go to the perspective. So that's kind of an interesting, hopefully. Let me know. Also, we want to create more creases, more definitions to the tower. So simply we will double click on this, double click on this, double click on this, double click on this, and let's add a bevel. In this case, let's say absolute, so they will look similar to each other like this. Yes, and the same thing in here. So it will look like this. Let's see it in the render mode. This is the render mode. It's actually quite interesting. What do you think? We forgot to bridge those two, so we will bridge them. Let's go again to the shaded mode. When I work on the shaded mode and rendered mode, usually I select the background solid color and select it just black, because it's easier for your eyes, especially when you are working so many hours. Now let's select this one, select the edges. What's happening? Sometimes your computer doesn't cooperate. Yes, here we are. And just as simple as that, let's add, yes, add this one, and let's say 0.1, and let's say again, let's add bevel, and no, not bevel, sorry. This is yes, this one, and 0.1 again. Simply we can slide it now, but let's say along, and simply we'll move it in here. And let's go to the subd again, and simply add 0.1, and again let's add insert subd edges and 0.1, and let's slide it. The slide is absolute. No, I want it to be proportional. Actually, let's create this one again. And simply insert subd edge, 0.1, and simply select it and slide it. Yes, just like that. Okay, now simply we will select those and those, and those, and all we need to do right now is add crease, so they will be fixed. And now let's basically select the same the same faces in here in the middle and bridge them, and you will select you basically get this effect. Again, do the same in here. Actually, let me show you something. If I selected this, you will start from here and start from here on this face and start from here on this face. If I selected this one, you will get a twisted bridge, and simply you will get something like this. Sometimes it's interesting in some cases, but in this case it will be more complex, but you know, just to say. And again, bridge, and here you go. Let's add a little bit of creases, sorry, bevels in here, in here, in here, in here. Yes, let's work on those. Let's add them to some bevels, just a little bit like this. So this is interesting. Let's do the same thing in here. And let's add bevels. I don't want them to be huge, I just want them to be a little bit like this. Maybe if we select these two and a little bit of bevel in here. Yes, just something like this, and simply select this curve and select this curve and move them a little bit up so you can see your bevel, just like this. Or maybe you don't need the bevel in here. Let's keep it like this for now. You need bevels in here. So let's see it in the rendered mode, or maybe in the architect mode. It's pretty cool also. And if you want to create this, let's say, if you want to create this effect, it's basically a view, it's basically the artistic view. You can simply create this effect, and in here you can show the shadows. If you want them to look sketchy like this, just hide the shadows. The curves, in this case there is no curves shown, but this is basically what we are doing. The edges is basically the intersection between the floor and the model itself. Just if you can looked in here, you can see that there is a small edge drawn. This is just to add a silhouette around it. And of course the seams is not important right now. Intersections, lights, of course all of this they are not appear. Sometimes if you have a clipping plane and you want to see it, just click in here and you can see it. But this basically the main model. Let's go to the perspective again. If you want to save it, just simply click in here and capture to file and select what's the size and what's the scale, and basically you can save it wherever you want. Save it as a photos. Let's go to the shaded mode again. If we want to offset this sub-D, let's say offset, or just simply click on this button and select this sub-D and press enter, and I want it to be offsetted, but I want it to be offsetted to the inside. So let's say flip all and distance 1. Okay, so basically it will look like this. Let's go to the front. Let's go in here. You can see that there is a lot of there's a lot of intersections in here that we want to keep it flat, and simply you can select them and again go to the Gumball relocate from here to here, and just do them like this, so they will be flattened like this. And again you will do the same in the other direction. Let's go to the front again. If you want to separate a specific parts, like in this case I want to separate the sub-D. When I select the sub-D, I select this one like this and I select the sub-D, it will select the full model. I want to select the entrance without the full model. I want to select, for instance, let's select these ones like this. If I want to select a loop of faces, I simply click on this and I will click on the any curve between the faces that I want to select them. So if I pick those, he will pick me those like this. He will pick me this ring of this loop of faces. Again, maybe this one, yes, it's working. This one, no, this one is not what we want. If we selected something and that we don't want to, just click Control and select it again, and just enter and select the face. Sorry, actually in this case maybe we can select, double click in here and select this, maybe this. Okay, and this. I don't think, no, there's one in here and two more in here. So that's it. And there's something in here called extract surface, and it's basically separated now. So if you selected this, you can see that the entrance is a separate surface. There is an important thing you need to know. If you want to separate two surfaces, you need to make sure that the curves between them are creases, because if you separated something that is not creases, the result will be not good, because simply the faces will be rounded, and that's not what you are looking for. Same thing we want to do in here. Actually, we want to delete this. So now if we selected this, but of course I don't want to select all of this, I just want to select those. Yes, and yes, that's what I really want to select, and simply extruded them down there, and go to the blue one like this and just flatten it, and go to the front, move it up like this, and perspective. Of course I don't want this face, and now simply I will create bridge between those. Sorry, I will create bridge between the edges. Bridge in here, and bridge in here. And of course I want these ones to be creased, so it will look like this. Again, we will do the same in here. And add crease. So now basically what we really want to do is simply delete this and bridge this with this, and let's bridge them. Okay, and as you can see, it's looking weird. Let's add crease to those, and add crease to those. And when you have a specific point like this, what's happening in here? If we selected them and remove the crease, it will go back to normal. Okay. Yes, we need to select those curves. And add them a crease. Yes, that's perfect. And simply remove this one. Rendered Subdi. Remove this crease and simply add this one right here. Add. So that's basically the entrance. That's how it looks from the inside. And let's add this one in here. Add crease. When you have points like this, that's because there are 3 intersections. Right, let's add crease in here. Let's create a clipping plane and create it vertical. So select vertical and create it from here to here. Let's go to wireframe because I can't see it. And select none and simply flip it and go to the shaded again. Alright, so what will fix this is simply separate it. Let's hope that we selected everything and extract it. So it's perfect, it looks perfect. Yes, and maybe in here you can simply just select this one and simply add a little bevel. No, not so much, just a little bit like this. Yes, so it will have a little bit of depth, and after that you can simply select create a face between those 4 points. Between this point, this point, this point, this point, and when you go to the smooth mode you will find out that it's not creased from down here, so all you need to do is select those 2 vertices and add a crease to them, so you will have your entrance back again. And you will do exactly the same thing, or you just can copy it. Sorry, extrude it is better, and just modify this to here. This one to here, this one to here, and simply this one to here. Okay, so that's basically it for now. Thank you for joining me in this live session. I hope everything is went perfect, and if you have any questions let me know, and I will see you in the next time, next week hopefully. Thank you.